Hey, since I've been doing video after video after video on like the exam for my discrete structures final, I feel like I should do a post game interview for this one as well. Honestly, I think yesterday I was very demotivated, or like not even demotivated, just mundane in general about the exam. And I don't know what happened like an hour after. I don't know if it was like a prayer or if I realized I had to lock in or else I was gonna fail. Um, I just got locked in. I was really fun. Um, I think the strategy I talked about, I honestly don't remember which video I upload sometimes. But then like the strategy I did was that I took each topic and I just like said, okay, I'm gonna do a brief overview of the topic, then do some practice questions. So like I was making like mini slides of the whole course, if that makes sense, but like on the textbook, and that's or yeah on a notebook. But that sounds very basic, but I think that was very helpful. But yeah, and I did the exam. The exam honestly wasn't bad. It was much better than the intro to matrices and linear algebra exam. I think the length proportionate to the time was really, really well done. Um, the questions, here's where I worry. The questions actually weren't bad. Like it was a really just matter of like if you knew what you knew. It wasn't like a matter of like, okay, here's a trick question. It was literally just like, do you know the content? And then and what scares me is that there was like I think one or two stuff I didn't know the content. Like I know there was like a Chinese remainder theorem, and that I didn't study that. I think that was something that I overlooked. Can't remember. I think that fell under modular congruence, and I went to modular congruence size, and I just like did a quick overview. But I think I just skipped over the Chinese. I skipped over the Chinese algorithm, Chinese modular algorithm thing. There's also like extended Euclidean algorithm, and that one, I'm gonna be very honest. I intentionally skipped that one because I was like in my head, that's gonna take too long. And what sucks is that uses like GCD to get the extended Euclidean algorithm. Cause I think that's for the multiplicative inverse of like some mod thing, right? So it uses GCD to get to like some part in the algorithm or whatever. And what annoys me is that I really like GCD because like greatest common denominator because I know how to do that one, but I know how to like do the extended Euclidean algorithm. So I was just like, nah. Um, I attempted it. It wasn't that well done. But I think besides that, the other questions were just I think they were pretty good. The only one where I see like the questions I did do and I was confident, or yeah, the questions I did and I'm confident in. The only one I'm a bit shaky on is the structural induction one. I honestly was not expecting a structural induction one. I thought he was going to do mathematical induction and strong induction, but he did mathematical induction and structural induction, and like he stuck to the sample exam. But with the structural induction one, I don't know, my logic seems solid. That's what I think. Like that's how I've been. So like for this class, you have to adopt a logical framework. I think my logic was pretty solid there. I think for questions like that where I don't know the answer, how I approach is that if I had to like refute or like rebuttal the professor, I think like I approach in such a way as like I can actually argue that this is the case. Um, but I think it was pretty solid. I think it was pretty solid. I'm overall happy because that was the hardest exam in my opinion that I had to take. Um, I actually only have two left, so that was like it was the harder of the two I had left, and the second being my data structures and algorithm exam, which I should probably study for pretty soon because that's at 6:30 tomorrow. Um, but yeah, I'm happy it's done. Once again, it's always the same thing. Like once you actually study the material, the content's actually pretty fun. It's actually pretty fun. I did actually look into the RSA stuff. I did not want to. The RSA encryption stuff that is, and I was like, I really just didn't want to do it. 'Cause I thought it was so like it was such a small percentage of the course material. But I was like, okay, let me just in case it shows up on the exam, let me just be able like do something on the paper. And it turns out it was not on the exam. I was completely right in suspecting it would not be on the exam. Um, but nonetheless, still looked at it, and there was Caesar Cipher. Like the one I specifically looked at, I remember in the group chat I was in, they said like Caesar Cipher is the only one that could fit time wise into the exam. So I looked at that, and it wasn't too crazy. So no regrets there in my opinion. I think the only thing I think what I could have improved on is really just. I did take notes on what I needed to study. I think what there was an overstep in the modular congruence side. I think I should have really have looked at that, and I was too confident in that the extended Euclidean algorithm was too long for the exam. I should have accounted for that. Like, there's obviously like numbers you can have that like form pretty well to get like in a certain amount of steps. I didn't account for that. And the Chinese modular congruence theorem thingy. I remember because I was watching the video where he explained it. I was in the class when he explained it, but I was just like, nah. I wasn't even crazy. It's like, if you know these steps, it's not crazy because like it just takes multiplying like I think you multiply like the mods, and then that's like your total number they have to get to or something like that. But yeah, I think another one I wasn't too confident in was there was the shoot. I think it was basically like if it was if the sets were countable, countably infinite, or uncountable or non-countable. And that one I think was the last one of it. I remember I used something about like it was like if you have an infinite bitwise map, or if you have an infinite bit map and you keep on changing it, like you keep on changing it, then you're not gonna be able to fit into the thing. And this doesn't make sense without the context, and I don't fully remember it, so I can't give the context, but I think it was pretty okay for that first one. Yeah, cardinality. Yeah. But yeah, the exam is done. Thank the Lord. I really pray I get that A, Z plus. But yeah, more exciting things are on the way. SGB retreat soon. I have a really cool device behind me. Working on some apartment stuff for the internship. Hopefully getting another internship next summer or in the fall. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, honestly, just living a blessed life. I'm really excited though. I think let me end this here. I think I'm really excited because like sometimes when like I'm finishing like a sprint or like a collection of sprints and stuff. So like if this month I think has been like an epilogue, but it's also like a sprint of exams. Once I start to finish that, I always get like this. I have this vague idea that I'm about to do like something like really cool or work on the next cool project of mine. So I feel like I'm getting the senses, and then like it actually becomes practical. And once I figure out what I want to work on. But I still think it's probably going to be the events meets Google Map idea, but we'll see. And then I have an internship, so that's going to be really fun. I don't know, I think it's going to be really exciting. I can't wait to meet my coworkers. But yeah, besides that though, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.